These are 5 websites that every graphic designer should know for free stock images. You can download all these high-res, high-quality images and use them in your videos, graphic design, social media marketing, and more. So let's go! Okay, so 5 websites for free stock images that totally changed my life. Absolutely. So number 1 is my absolute favorite, and that is Unsplash. So I really like this website, and I've used this website, these images, a lot in all my graphic design, in my online courses that I teach. So I use this quite a lot, and as you can see, they're really high quality images, and I love that you can just search for images. Like there's a search engine, and yeah, so I recently searched, I guess, women plants, women holding plants. And so there's loads of images over here, which is cool. You can have some suggestions over here. You also have some trending topics like athletics you can type, and then you can have lots of images. This is especially cool if you have an athletics brand. You can also click on experimental, and it'll give you a bunch of suggestions. Architecture, which is super nice. 3D renders. When you see Unsplash Plus, so this is the paid membership one. So some are free and some aren't, but there's a lot. Most of it is free and it's awesome. Fashion and beauty. So I've used this a lot because I work in fashion. And what's also really cool is that say you decide you want architecture. So you select architecture and interiors and then you scroll down. And what's also really cool is when you select an image, I quite like this image, and you click over here, you can see download free. But if you click on the little arrow, you can actually choose the size of your image. So you can have small, medium, large, depending on how big you want the image to be. So if you're using this for B-roll for videos, you want it to be pretty high, at least this or that. But sometimes you don't want it to have a lot of megabytes and you don't want it to be really large file because it will store a lot of space in your computer and your hard drive, and you don't want that. So sometimes it's better to choose small. So either way, let's say we select medium and it will automatically appear in your downloads. So that's cool. I can also hard it. If I have, you can create a login membership, like a login account. And you can also refer the artist and tell the world that when you're using this image, it's actually this artist who created this. So it tells you how you can copy all these texts and contribute and reference the artist or the photographer. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Unsplash. I find it super cool. I've used it a lot. Also, when you select an image and you scroll down, it will give you suggestions for similar images. Okay, let's look at the next one, which I also really like, and it's called Pexels. Number 2 is Pexels. So same thing, it's pretty similar, except I think it's a bit more artsy, which I like a bit more artistic. And again, you have a search engine. You can type cats. I'm a cat lady, so... And then you'll have loads of images of cats or makeup. Sometimes I also take images and I edit them in Photoshop, or I use them as a collage or mood board or anything really. Now, what I like about Pexels is that you have filters. So if you click on filters over here, you can choose all orientations. So you can choose horizontal, which is useful if you're, editing a video and you need B-roll, then you want to go with horizontal. Or square for like Instagram posts, for instance. Different sizes, large, medium, small. And hex code, so the color. So you can have pinks, my favorite color, and other colors. So you can have all these filters and some suggestions like light. Wow, these are really nice images, aren't they? And the same principle applies. You choose an image and then same principle. You click on the arrow and you can choose original, large, medium. So yeah, that was number 2, Pexels. Let's look at number 3, Pixabay. Another really cool one. Like this one, I love them all, but this one is really cool because it doesn't just offer images. Like obviously you have a search engine here, like you did in the other ones, but it offers photos, illustrations, vectors, which are digital drawings, videos. So you have a lot more options in the same categories over here. So let's select illustration. And they're so pretty. Look at how cute this is. So you can free download it. But I think for this, you only have a certain amount of images that you can download for free. And then after that, you need, I think, to have an account or a membership. And obviously, you need to prove you're human. Sometimes that happens. And again, crediting isn't required, but it tells you how to credit authors or artists or creators if you wanted to. And it's always nice to refer to them. When I use the images in my courses, I keep the name, usually the name in Unsplash, which is the one I use the most. The name in Unsplash is the name of the author. So I keep it. I keep the name of the author in the image so they get the credit. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's click on X. And like I said, there's not just vector graphics, there's videos, which is great. These are all little clips you can use as B-roll for videos, which is really cool. So yeah. Another thing I also download from here is sound effects. So sometimes when I make videos, like sometimes there's like a pop sound. Well, not that sound, that's a bit much, but like that's also a bit much. But like a little pop sound sometimes, like this one. And it makes it just a bit more cool. You also have GIFs. So yeah, Pixabay is pretty awesome, isn't it? Let's look at the next one, Freepik. So number 3 is Freepik. And that looks also pretty cool. Again, you have vectors, which are digital drawings. Oh, Christmas. And school vectors. Let's look at that. Great stuff. And you can use these illustrations. If you downloaded in Illustrator, then you can edit it. And this one does need an attribution. Now, if you were to download this in an EPS or a zip file, it would contain a digital drawing, like an AI drawing, a vector drawing, or EPS. They're all like digital drawings that you can change in a program such as Adobe Illustrator. So I do teach a course on Adobe Illustrator. If you wanted to learn how to download one of these vectors and then change it and manipulate it and design it, check out my course. No pressure though. So yeah, there's loads of stuff in Freepik, and there's also PSD, which is a Photoshop file. So you can even download Photoshop files and edit them. They're pretty cool actually. They're all like banners and social media advertisements. But I'm pretty sure you need to pay for these. So it's something you might want to consider. And again, I also teach Photoshop, and I have loads of templates for free that comes with my course if you do my course. So see whether that makes sense for you. And then the last but not least I would use is Adobe Stock. And that's only because I'm an Adobe girl. I love using Adobe softwares, and I already have an Adobe Creative Cloud license. So when you use Adobe, you can also have the Adobe version with the Adobe Stock images. And what's cool is that you can either go to the Adobe Stock website, or when you have Adobe InDesign open, let's say, you will have Adobe Stock built in. Yeah, so you can search Adobe Stock over here. Just click on this icon, CC Libraries, and search Adobe Stock, and you can search, for instance, warning icon. And you will have loads of warning icons. I'm not even sure that's the real name for this. I'm sure there's another name for that, exclamation. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you can click on it. And depending on your license, you can add it. And it will show up in your libraries, and then you can pop it in here and click and drag, and boom. And depending on your license, you can have all your Adobe Stock images right inside Adobe InDesign, which is cool. So yeah, that's it. Adobe, I think, is the best in terms of images. You have all the best creators and artists in the world who work with Adobe. Just look how amazing these illustrations are. They're just incredible works of art. So I definitely recommend upgrading that membership with Creative Cloud to get Adobe Stock images. Okay, my friends, that was pretty much it for 5 websites that every graphic designer should know for free stock images. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more Adobe tips and tricks and graphic design techniques. So see you soon.